Okay, so today I want to talk about why governments should not bail out companies. And I want to start off this video by saying that I'm not talking about your mom and pop neighborhood store, your favorite family restaurant, local grocers, nothing like that. I'm talking about the kind of companies that are benefiting from crony capitalism and taking advantage of situations like this. It's going to be the ones that have lobbyists in White House and Parliament. They're manipulating the economy because politicians need their donations to get reelected. Let's take a look at this video. It's popping up all over the internet last couple of days from CNBC. It happened on Thursday, April 9th. And it shows the CEO of Social Capital, Chamath. He's talking about the American government bailing out hedge funds and airlines, and other multi-million dollar corporations. So let's take a look here.
And I think we all agree with you that more money for Main Street is needed. Maybe not in spite of the money to all of these companies or whatever that make up the economy as well. That more money is needed everywhere, perhaps. But are you suggesting, you keep saying propping up zombie companies. Are you arguing to let airlines, for example, fail?
Yes.
So that 30-second clip really sums up the main points of the conversation. He goes into quite a bit of detail over the rest. There's going to be a full link to the video in the description if you want to watch the whole thing, and I do recommend you do it. He's going to put together a lot more cohesive points and from a better perspective than myself. But I just want to have, kind of open discussion right now on what I feel about the governments are doing right now addressing the corporate bailouts of these billion-dollar companies. America is supposed to be the most capitalist country in the world, right? But over the past 40 years, it's kind of morphed and it turned into a disgusting mutation of what it really should be. Corporations own politicians. We saw this happening in '08, and we see it happening again. So here's the definition of crony capitalism. Crony capitalism is an economic system in which a business thrives, not as a result of risk, but rather the return on money amassed through a nexus between a business class and a political class. Now, if what the American government is doing right now is not the textbook definition of crony capitalism, then I don't know what is. We've veered very far away from what we should be doing in an economic standpoint. Millions of people in Canada and the States are losing their jobs. They can't pay their rent. They can't pay their mortgage. They don't see their friends. They don't see their family. Local businesses are going under. They're forced to close their doors by government mandates. And the largest corporations in the world are the ones getting the most aid. So this is a sickening repeat of financial favoritism. The government is choosing winners and it's choosing losers. And the everyday person who owns a small local business or you, a normal Joe Blow, are not getting chose to be a winner, shockingly, by the government. The companies that chose to over-leverage, use all their excess capital to buy back shares. They gave massive bonuses, and they acted like, the bull market was never going to run. They didn't put away a rainy day fund, are getting bailed out by the government right now. Delta, their CEO, Ed Baston, he made $15 million total compensation, and they're getting a massive bailout right now. In the clip you can see he again goes in to talk about how the compensation for the senior executives and for the board is on price per share earnings, and how they inflate that through a variety of different financial methods, share buybacks being one of them. Less shares out there with the same amount of earnings, it's more dollars per share. It doesn't actually do anything for the real economy in the world. It just pads their wallets, right? You should be investing in R&D and some other form of mechanism to benefit the business in the long run. But because it's quarter-to-quarter results, and their bonuses are tied to quarter-to-quarter results, they don't care about the long run of the business. They care about immediately getting that paycheck. This is as if a little kid spends all his money on candy and then he goes home and complains to his parents he didn't have money to feed himself at lunchtime at school. It's not how companies should be run. But it's not the government's fault. They didn't know, COVID-19 until, a month ago. But they actually did. They knew in January, and they knew the economic repercussions. We saw that with insider trading by a variety of different senators in the Republican Party. They knew how bad this was going to hit the economy. But you also can't blame the government for repeating '08 because, they punished those people responsible, threw them in jail, and started regulating the markets Oh wait, they didn't convict anyone of the financial terrorism that committed over the past decade prior to that. Ben Bernanke, he's not in jail. Fannie Mae, Bear Stearns, none of those senior executives, nope, not in jail. And really no one took the blame for a horrible financial collapse that was from deregulation of markets. Alan Greenspan's really famous for this. Americans are always talking about the efficient market hypothesis, but you do need regulations in financial markets, and we're seeing a repeat of this. So the banks that were leveraged are now the hedge funds that were leveraged, and the cycle goes on and on and on. So if we don't let companies fail, why would they choose to act responsibly? If you have a roulette wheel and you put down 10 times the amount of money you actually have in your pocket, and if you lose it, it doesn't matter because Mr. President's going to bail you out. And if you win, you just take all that money and put it in your pocket. So what about the employees, of these airlines, which is a really good point. Again, you can watch the full clip. He goes in and talks about that. Maybe we'll never fly again if all these airlines go under. No, that's not going to happen. It's not going to go back to the 1800s with no airlines around. Other companies are going to come in with their capital that they have because they acted fiscally responsible and buy up the assets. The people that are going to get hurt from situations like this the most are going to be large hedge funds, senior executives, senior management. The everyday person will not suffer too much from a large multinational billion-dollar corporation going under. They can take the hit because, again, they know the risk, they know the reward. There's supposed to be an equal and opposite balance for this. But if you take, all this reward with no risk, there's no downside to this. I can't even fathom why people are jumping on to defend these companies. They squeezed every last dollar out of us for any kind of air travel, and they're defending government bailing out them in the billions. It's too big to fail all over again. We've seen this before. Just like when a boxer gets into a ring, they know the risks they're taking. These companies knew what they were doing. It's not ignorance. It's deliberate misappropriation of billions of dollars. So let me know in the comment section below how you feel about this. If you found this video interesting and some of the thoughts I had, please leave your own in the comment section below as well. And if you disliked this video, thought it was pretty ill-informed or stupid, just drop a dislike and let me know why as well. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.